All right, so let's talk about something that's probably on a lot of our minds. In a world that just feels completely overwhelmed by conflict, where do we even begin to find the strength to be peaceful? Well, today we're going to dig into the timeless wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi to try and find an answer.
I mean, seriously, look around. In a world of what feels like endless conflict, is peace even possible anymore? It's a question a lot of us are wrestling with, right? I mean, when you're just surrounded by noise and anger and this constant pressure, the whole idea of peace can feel kind of naive, almost like a fantasy. But what if we've been looking at it completely backwards?
Okay, let's just pause on this for a second, because this one idea from Gandhi, it changes everything. He's basically saying, hey, peace isn't about waiting for all the problems to go away. It's not this passive thing. Nope. It's an active, courageous state that we have to build inside ourselves, especially when conflict is raging all around us. So to really get this, we first have to look at the problem Gandhi was pointing to, and wow, does it sound like he was talking about right now. He saw a world, a civilization that was basically addicted to strife.
And I mean, does any of this sound familiar? You're just constantly blasted with noise, with conflict. There's this intense pressure to take a side on every single issue right now. And in that kind of environment, anger just becomes the default setting. It's just easier. And peace starts to feel like some kind of luxury, something we just don't have time for. So, what's the way out? What's the antidote to this addiction? Well, Gandhi's solution is pretty radical, and it's definitely counterintuitive. So let's dive in and start by totally redefining what it actually means to be nonviolent.
Okay, this is probably the biggest misconception we need to get out of the way right now. For so many people, the word nonviolence brings up images of being passive, of being a doormat, of just giving in. But for Gandhi, that's not it at all. He saw it as this incredibly powerful, active force, a force that, in his view, required way more bravery than a soldier on the battlefield.
And this, right here, really lays out the two different paths. On one side, you've got what our world tends to reward, right? The loudest voice in the room, the most outraged person, the one who reacts the fastest. But then, look at the other side. This is where Gandhi points us. True courage. It's having the strength to resist hatred without becoming hateful yourself. It's meeting injustice without becoming unjust. And this last one is huge. It's refusing to become a copy of the very thing that's hurting you. Now that's real strength.
And this quote, this is a crucial warning. He's saying that in any conflict, the second you start to dehumanize the other side, to make them seem less than human so it's okay to be angry at them, you've already lost the most important battle. Because the first person you damage isn't them, it's you. You lose a piece of your own humanity first.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we actually do it? How do we build this courageous kind of peace? Well, the good news is, Gandhi didn't just leave it as some big abstract idea. He broke it down into three really practical pillars, three cornerstones for building inner strength. And here they are: restraint, compassion, and discipline. And it's super important to see these not just as, nice-sounding virtues. Think of them as actual skills. They're tools you can develop to navigate a really, really difficult world.
All right, let's start with the first one, restraint. And no, this does not mean bottling everything up or becoming some kind of robot. It's about self-control, really. It's about finding that tiny little pause, that space between something happening and how you react to it. It's the power to just take a breath before you judge, before you speak, before you hit send. I love this quote because it flips the whole idea on its head. We think restraint makes us weak or vulnerable, right? Gandhi says, no way. It's your armor. It's the shield that protects your own inner calm from getting completely shattered by all the chaos on the outside.
Pillar number 2 is compassion. And again, notice that word discipline. This isn't about having a warm, fuzzy feeling all the time. That's not realistic. It's a conscious choice. It's the active, disciplined practice of trying to see the human being in someone else, even when, especially when, you think they are completely and totally wrong.
And this is the magic of it, really. When you practice compassion, it can completely reframe a conflict. Suddenly, that person isn't just your enemy anymore. They become a fellow traveler. It's a reminder that, hey, we're all just trying to get through life. Everyone's fighting some kind of battle we know nothing about. It just shifts the whole dynamic.
And the third pillar, discipline, is really what holds the other two together. It's all about finding this crucial balance. I mean, think about it. If you have total freedom with no discipline, what do you get? Just chaos. But if you have discipline with no freedom, that's just tyranny.
The real sweet spot, the place where true strength lives, is right there in the middle, where your freedom and your self-discipline are working together.
And of course, that brings us to maybe his most famous quote of all. It's so simple, but so profound. And what powers this idea? Self-discipline. That's the engine. All the transformation we want to see out there in the world, it doesn't start with pointing fingers. It starts right here, inside each of us.
Okay, so we have these three pillars: restraint, compassion, discipline. But where do we actually use them? Where's the real battlefield? Well, Gandhi's answer is clear. It's not on the streets. It's not in government buildings. The ultimate arena for change, the real revolution, is inside. Let that one sink in for a moment. This is such a huge point. You can change all the laws you want, you can protest and topple systems, but if the people within those systems haven't changed, it's all just built on sand. It'll eventually crumble. The only change that actually sticks is the one that's built from the inside out.
So if there's an inner battle, who are we fighting? Well, here are the real opponents. It's not other people. The fight is against our own fear, our own capacity for hatred, our own ego that always wants to be right. It's a fight against just living unconsciously, just reacting to everything on autopilot without ever stopping to think. Okay, so let's bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you, for me, living our day-to-day lives in this crazy, noisy world? Let's distill this whole philosophy down to a personal, and I think really empowering takeaway. And this, right here, is the big takeaway. The inner work you do, it doesn't just stay inside you. It radiates outward. Think of it like a tuning fork. When you strike it, other things around it start to vibrate at the same frequency. That's resonance. When you cultivate peace in yourself, you change the energy of every single room you walk into, every conversation you have. You're not changing the world by forcing it, but just by being a different kind of energy in it.
Which brings us to one last, really challenging thought. We're so often taught to think that what the world needs to solve its problems is more powerful people, right? More money, more influence, more control. But Gandhi just completely flips that script.
The world doesn't need more powerful people. It needs more peaceful people. And that's the answer. It's so simple, but it's so profound. And it's a direct call to action for every single one of us. Remember, not passive people, but peaceful people. People who have done the hard inner work to become that steady, calm presence, that little bit of light in a world that, let's be honest, could really use it right now.